One of the most beloved factions in all of Halo is the Flood, not only for their gameplay elements adding depth to an enemy variety that's already plentiful, but for their narrative elements within the story. But do those elements actually hold any substance? Because I hate to say it, but the Flood are absolute frauds in the modern day Halo lore. They tease relevance, they ooze clickbait, they want you to click so bad, taking over high charity within hours, only to never accomplish anything that they want. Always stopped by this man, right here, Spartan. Arrest that man!
Captain!
Arrest him! And I could give them a pass for losing to the Master Chief over and over and over again, but it's not just him that beats them, so let's go back in Halo's history and figure out why they're such a tease. The Flood spawned from the Precursors, the most powerful race in the galaxy before the Forerunners came. Now, the Forerunners loved these people, treated them as gods, but the second they gave the mantle of responsibility to humanity, they switched and committed World War II. And the remaining Precursors that survived to transform themselves into dust. It doesn't make that much sense to me either, but this dust was corrupted, and when it reformed itself, it became the Flood. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't blame them from getting their get back. The Flood consumed the Forerunners so much they had to make a weapon of mass destruction to end themselves and all the life in the galaxy just to stop these guys. The Flood got domed by their little brother twice. One time they weren't even the Flood, they were the superior people. They got starved of all life and died off, but the worst part is that the Forerunners kept parts of them alive. They put them in containment facilities, they experimented on them, and they were just kind of kept in jail for years and years and years, but nobody would be stupid enough to release them. Ow, fuck. In Combat Evolved, the Flood are set up to be the most terrifying thing on this foreign, beautiful, majestic ring with the most terrifying secret in the galaxy. The Covenant and Keys open the containment facility, and the Flood starts to run wild across the ring, consuming both Covenant and the remaining human forces left on it. They not only take over the Covenant ship, the Truth and Reconciliation, but the human ship, the Pillar of Autumn. But here's the thing. The Flood doesn't know how to run the ship. They're a hive mind with no connection to the smart ones back in the day that killed off the Foreigners. These guys are running with what a normal human mind has to provide. So basically nothing, I guess. Maybe eventually they could figure out how to get off this ring. Hell, they captured the captain of the human ship and put him on the Covenant one. Why? While forming their proto-gravemind, the actual thing that collects a lot of their intelligence, this fucking guy comes up, punches you in the face, takes the codes that he wants, brings them to the other ship, and then blows up that ship and the entire ring in the process, killing all of you, or so you think. Because in the next game, you go back to the destruction of Installation 04. You find this creepy facility within a gas giant covered with the Flood and experimentation facility, and Arbiter cuts a bunch of fucking cables and you all fall to your death. You gotta be kidding. Okay, I'll give them this. They weren't dumb as hell in the second game, but it kind of gets worse because they have a gravemind set up, right? The only problem is that although he's cool as fuck, he sends the one guy that could stop you away to help you in the short term. It feels like the Flood never thinks logically and timely, because in Halo 2, they low-key win the game, period. The Master Chief and the Covenant Civil War, I mind you, help, but the Flood takes over High Charity, and the other lackey he sends out, the Arbiter, stops the Halo from firing, essentially making sure that they all can stay alive. But let me tell you, the third game is where the Flood has ever been this bad, because it's literally just Discord calls. That's the extent of the Flood's power in this game. It's Discord calls. I can't believe it. So the Flood arrives on Earth, right? They start to run wild, they start to consume everything immediately, glassed, all dead. That's fine, that's fine. It was just a scout ship. They got the entire Covenant Holy City. Oh my god, it's the entire Covenant Holy City. Talk about all of your eggs in one basket. The Gravemind basically teams up with the same guy again to stop Truth from firing all the rings. Again, very short term, very smart. They immediately turn around and betray him. Good job. But you didn't get him. So he comes to your house, puts his feet up, makes himself a sandwich, takes your girl, and blows up your house. I'm sorry, you're frauds. You're frauds. I'm sorry. You're not the most terrifying things in the galaxy. You have lost the argument. You're frauds. It's over. I'm sorry. It's over. You're frauds. And I think I'm not the only one who agrees with that, because 343 didn't care about the Flood. The 343, they didn't give a shit about them. And the one time that they show up is in Halo Wars 2, miraculously surviving Master Chief blowing up High Charity. They're contained until the Banished opened a shield door. They run wild and they all die again. God damn it. I'm sorry. You guys are frauds. I'm sorry. And I think that's the strangest thing about the Flood in Halo, because the fanbase loves them. I love the Flood. I love fighting the Flood. But story-wise, the second you start to really look into what they want to accomplish, it's just consuming things. And that's fine, but then you have the Gravemind who speaks so elegantly and sets things up, versus the actual gameplay of just space-eating zombies. And maybe they should have just continued to be space-eating zombies, because maybe even that way they would come off less fraudulent.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass.
But I'm never gonna stop pushing for these guys to actually show up in another game. It's been a long time since we've faced off with the Flood. It's almost been another decade, and that makes me old just saying that. But it's true. The Flood deserves to be in another Halo game, even if they are the most clickbaity faction I have ever seen, outside of the aura farming Atriox does every single time he's on screen. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy what I do, maybe consider checking out some other stuff. Thank you so much.